The white lights of the medical room hurt's eyes. He stood behind the glass wall, watching the doctors work on Lyra. His hands pressed against the cold surface. His breathing came fast and uneven. Lyra's body shook on the bed. Her skin, usually glowing with soft blue light, had turned gray. The machines around her beeped faster and faster. 3 doctors in white suits moved around her, checking screens and injecting medicines. Nothing worked. "Move back, please." Doctor pushed through the door. She was the head of xenobiology at the Earth Medical Center. Her face looked tired. Dark circles sat under her eyes. "We need to talk, now." Couldn't move. He watched Lyra's chest rise and fall. Each breath looked painful. What's happening to her? It's the atmosphere, pulled him away from the glass. Earth's air is killing her. The oxygen level is too high for her biology. Her cells are breaking down. But she's been here for 6 months. She was fine yesterday. It's not always immediate. Her body was fighting it, adapting slowly, but something triggered a cascade failure. Maybe stress, maybe just time running out. Looked at the tablet in her hands. "I need you to listen carefully. She has 7 minutes, maybe less." The words didn't make sense. 7 minutes. Looked at the clock on the wall. The red numbers glowed. 3:47 p.m. 7 minutes from now, Lyra would be dead. The woman he loved. The alien who learned to speak Korean just to make him laugh. The scientist who came to Earth because she believed humans and her people could be friends. There has to be something. Medicine, a treatment. Voice cracked. "There are 2 options. Both are bad." Touched her tablet. A hologram appeared between them. It showed Lyra's body with red areas spreading through her organs. "Option 1, we send her back to her ship. The medical bay can save her. Their technology is made for her biology." "Then do it. Send her up now." "I can't." His face looked pained. 3 hours ago, a ship attacked one of our colony stations. 70 people died. Earth's defense grid is locked down. No ships in or out. Getting clearance would take hours. She doesn't have hours. Felt cold. The attack, he'd heard about it on the news, but he never thought. There must be emergency protocols. "There are for humans, not for aliens, especially not now." Closed the hologram. "The whole planet is angry. People are scared. Even if I could get through to orbital command, even if they said yes, the transport alone would take 30 minutes. She'd be dead before we got her off the ground." "What's option 2? Hesitated. "We have an experimental treatment. It's designed to force rapid adaptation in alien biology. We inject nanomachines into her bloodstream. They rewrite her cellular structure, making her compatible with Earth's atmosphere." "Do it." "Wait, you need to understand. This treatment has never been tested on. The success rate on other species is 10%. 10%. And even if it works, the changes are permanent. Her body would reject her home atmosphere. She could never go back to her planet, never breathe her own air again, never see her family." Stared at her, "And if we do nothing?" "She dies in 7 minutes." The room felt too small, too hot. Looked back through the glass. The young medical assistant was wiping Lyra's forehead. Lyra's eyes opened slightly. Even from here could see the pain in them. Her mouth moved, trying to form words. "I need to talk to her." "There's no time for." "I need to talk to her." Pushed past and ran into the medical room. The smell of chemicals burned his nose. The machines beeped louder here. Stepped back to give him space. He took Lyra's hand. It felt too hot. Her fingers barely squeezed his. She whispered. Her voice sounded like broken glass. "It hurts." I know, we're going to fix this." He brushed her hair back. It felt dry, brittle, wrong. "The doctors have a treatment. It can save you." What kind of treatment?" He couldn't lie to her. "It will change you, make you able to breathe Earth's air, but you won't be able to go home, ever." Lyra's eyes widened. Tears formed at the corners. Not human tears. Hers glowed faintly like tiny stars falling. "My family. I know. My world. I know." Her grip on his hand tightened. "Don't let me become a weapon against my people," she coughed. Blue liquid came from her mouth, quickly wiped it away. "This war, don't let me be part of it." "What are you talking about?" But Lyra's eyes closed. Her hand went limp. The machine screamed, pushed back. "Sir, please, we need room to work." Stumbled backward, caught him. She pulled him out of the room. Through the glass he watched the doctors work faster. Electric shocks, more injections. Lyra's body jumped with each shock. "She's coding," someone yelled. "We're losing her." Grabs shoulders. "I need your decision right now. Do we try the treatment or not?" "If we do nothing, she dies." "Yes." "If we try the treatment, she probably dies." "Yes, but there's a chance." "And if she lives, she's trapped here, on a planet that hates her people." Nodded. "And there's more. The treatment causes massive stress to the brain. Memory loss is common. She might not remember you, might not remember why she came to Earth at all." Felt his world break apart. Save her and lose her, or watch her die. "How long do I have?" Looked at the clock. 4 minutes. 4 minutes to decide. 4 minutes to choose between two kinds of death. Looked at Lyra through the glass. Her body had stopped moving. Only the machines kept her alive now, pumping air, pushing blood, fighting a battle her body was losing. He thought about the first time he met her, her laugh, the way she looked at Earth's moon and called it beautiful, the way she held his hand when they walked through the city, the way she said his name. His voice was soft but urgent. "I need an answer." The clock showed 3:51 p.m. 7 minutes had started. Now only 4 remained. 4 minutes to make an impossible choice. 4 minutes to play God with the life of the woman he loved. Closed his eyes. His heart pounded in his chest. His hands shook. And somewhere in his mind a timer counted down. 4 minutes. 3 minutes and 59 seconds. 3 minutes and 58 seconds. The decision waited, and time didn't care. Opened his eyes. The medical room looked the same, but everything felt different. Time moved like thick mud. Every second stretched into forever. Every beep of the machines hammered in his skull. "I need more information," he said. His voice didn't sound like his own. "Tell me everything about the treatment." Nodded. She pulled up her tablet again. The nanomachines work fast. They enter her bloodstream and target every cell. They force evolution, basically. Make her body adapt to Earth's environment in minutes instead of millions of years. "What's the catch?" "Besides the 90% death rate," his jaw tightened. "The technology is banned by the Galactic Council. It's considered too dangerous, too much like playing God. If we use it, Earth could face sanctions, maybe worse." "Why do we even have it?" "Because humans don't like being told what we can't do." Looked at the floor. "We've been researching it in secret for years, just in case we ever needed it." A voice came from behind them. "You can't do this." Minyu walked up. He was best friend and his face looked pale. "Do you understand what you're asking? This treatment is illegal for a reason." "She's dying, Minyu." I know that. But if you use this technology, you're making Earth responsible. What if her people find out? What if they say we experimented on her?" Hadn't thought about that. The war, the attack on the colony. If Lyra's people learned that humans used illegal technology on one of their own, it would make everything worse. She came here by choice. Did she? Minyu stepped closer. Did she really understand the risks? Did any of us? "That's not fair." "None of this is fair," Minyu's voice rose. "But that doesn't change reality. If she dies, it's a tragedy. If you turn her into something else, it's a weapon. The will say we corrupted her, changed her, made her into a tool for human propaganda." "Minyu's right," said quietly. "I should have mentioned this earlier. If Lyra survives and can't return home, she becomes a symbol. Both sides will use her. Humans will say she chose us, will say we trapped her." Looked through the glass. Lyra's chest barely moved now. The machines were doing most of the work, checked her vitals and shook her head. Not good. 3 minutes, said. 3 minutes. His mind raced. What if we contact the embassy, explain the situation, get permission? I tried, showed her tablet. Red text covered the screen. All communications are blocked, both sides, we can't reach them, they can't reach us. There has to be someone with authority. Everyone with authority is preparing for war. Minyu put his hand on shoulder. I'm sorry, but you need to accept this. Sometimes there's no good answer. Sometimes people die and there's nothing we can do. Shook off his hand. No, that's not acceptable. It's not about acceptable, it's about reality. Then reality needs to change. Turn to the treatment, walk me through it, step by step. Hesitated, then nodded. She expanded the hologram. Lyra's body appeared in the air, transparent and glowing. First, we inject the nanomachines into her bloodstream. They travel to every organ, every tissue. Phase 1 takes 30 seconds. The hologram showed tiny machines spreading through Lyra's body like a silver river. Phase 2 is where it gets dangerous. The machines start rewriting her DNA, forcing mutations. Her cells either adapt or die. This takes 2 minutes. The hologram changed. Cells burst apart. New ones grew. The process looked violent, painful. If she survives Phase 2, Phase 3 begins. Her nervous system rewires itself. Her brain creates new pathways to handle the changes. This is where we see most of the memory loss. How much memory? It varies. Some patients lose days, some lose years. One patient forgot their entire life. Close the hologram. And that's if it works. Most patients don't survive Phase 2. Their bodies can't handle the stress. Felt sick. This wasn't saving Lyra. This was destroying her, and hoping something survived. What happens if we start the treatment and it's going wrong? Can we stop it? No. Once the nanomachines activate, they can't be shut down. They finish their job or they kill the patient trying. 2 minutes, called from inside the medical room. 2 minutes, 120 seconds. Hands clenched into fists. He wanted to scream, to break something, to turn back time and stop Lyra from ever coming to Earth. But time only moved forward, and Lyra only had 2 minutes left. What if stopped? An idea formed. It was crazy, probably impossible, but maybe. What if we do both? Both what? Frowned. Start the treatment here. Buy her time, while we work on getting her to the ship. Spoke faster now. The nanomachines take 3 minutes total, right? What if we do Phase 1 then stop? Hold her stable while we force clearance to send her up. Shook her head. I told you the machines can't be stopped. But they can be slowed. You said they need to reach every cell. What if we limit the injection? Give her just enough to stabilize her, not enough to complete the transformation. Stared at him. That's actually insane. A partial dose would be even more dangerous. Her body would be caught between two states, human and neither. But she'd be alive. For how long? A day, an hour, and in what state? Grabbed his arm. I understand you're desperate, but this isn't a solution. This is torture. Minyu nodded. She's right. You'd be making her suffer longer, that's all. Pulled away from both of them, he walked to the glass wall, pressed his forehead against it. Lyra looked so small on that bed, so fragile. He remembered how strong she was, how she laughed at his jokes even when she didn't understand them, how she tried Earth food and pretended to like it, how she held him when he cried about his mother's death. She came to Earth for him, left her home, her family, her world, because she believed in something bigger. She believed humans and could be friends, could be family, could love each other. And now he had to decide if that belief was worth her life. 90 seconds, voice cracked. She was crying now. Inside the room, Lyra's body jerked. The machine screamed louder. Red lights flashed. Doctors moved frantically. One of them shouted something couldn't hear through the glass. Stood beside him, her voice was soft, gentle. I need your answer. Now. Do we try the treatment or do we let her go peacefully? Let her go peacefully, like she was just going to sleep, like death was a mercy. Maybe it was. Maybe dying was better than becoming something neither human nor. Maybe peace was better than this impossible choice. But thought about what Lyra said once. They were watching the sunset from his apartment. She pointed at the orange sky and said, "On my world we don't have sunsets like this. Too much moisture in the air. Everything is always blue or gray." She smiled. "But here the sky burns. It's violent and beautiful. That's very human." "What do you mean?" he'd asked. "Humans don't do anything peacefully. Not even dying. You fight, always, even when it's hopeless." She looked at him. "I think that's why I love you. You refuse to give up." 60 seconds. 1 minute. Turn 2. Do the treatment. "Are you sure?" "No, but do it anyway." Nodded. She pressed her tablet. "Start the procedure now." Through the glass, watched grab a silver case. Inside was a syringe filled with liquid metal, the nanomachines. She moved to Lyra's side, found a vein in her arm. The needle went in. And the timer hit 0. The silver liquid disappeared into Lyra's arm. For 3 seconds nothing happened. The room held its breath. Then Lyra screamed. It wasn't a human scream. It was higher, sharper, filled with sounds no human throat could make. Her back arched off the bed. The restraints held her down. Her skin began to glow, brighter than had ever seen. Blue light filled the room, so bright the doctors had to look away. "Phase 1 starting," said. Her voice was calm, professional, but her hands shook. "Nanomachines spreading through bloodstream. Vitals they're all over the place. Heart rate at 200, blood pressure spiking." Couldn't look away. He watched Lyra's face twist in pain. Her eyes were open but unseeing. Her mouth moved, forming words in her own language, words he couldn't understand. "Hold her steady," said. She was checking the monitors. If she moves too much, the machines might concentrate in one area. That would be fatal. "Mean you stood behind." "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm sorry you had to make this choice." Didn't answer. He couldn't. All he could do was watch and remember. 2 years ago, the memory came suddenly, vividly, the first time he saw Lyra. It was at the Grand Cultural Exchange Center in Seoul. Humans and met for the first time outside of government meetings. The room was full of nervous laughter and careful conversations, everyone trying not to say the wrong thing, not to offend. Stood by the refreshment table, holding a cup of coffee he didn't want. He was there because his university forced him to attend. Networking opportunity, they called it. He called it torture. Then he saw her. Lyra stood alone near a window, looking at the city below. Her skin glowed softly in the dim light. She wore a dress that looked like liquid starlight, but what caught his attention was her expression. She looked sad, lost. He walked over without thinking. "Beautiful view, isn't it?" She jumped slightly, turned to him. "Oh yes, very beautiful. Your city is tall." He laughed. "Tall, that's one way to describe it." "I'm sorry, my Korean is not good. I've been studying for 3 months, but—" She made a gesture with her hands, helpless, frustrated. "Your Korean is great, much better than mine." He held out his hand. "I'm—" She looked at his hand, uncertain. In her culture, touching strangers was considered intimate, but she took his hand anyway. Her skin felt warm, smooth, different but not strange. "I'm Lyra, I study. How do you say, people?" "Anthropology." "Yes, anthropology. I study human culture, human emotions." She smiled. It transformed her face. "Your species is very interesting." "Interesting good or interesting bad?" "I haven't decided yet." They talked for 3 hours, about Earth and her planet, about differences and similarities, about why she came here and what she hoped to learn. By the end of the night had given her his contact information. She promised to message him. She did the next day, and the day after that, and every day for 2 years. "Phase 1 complete," announced. "Nanomachines have reached all major organs, beginning Phase 2. Lyra's screaming stopped. For a moment thought it was over, thought she was dead. But then her eyes opened. They looked directly at him, filled with pain and fear and something else. Recognition. Her mouth moved. He pressed against the glass. I'm here, I'm right here. Hurts. I know, just hold on, please. Her eyes closed again. The machines around her made new sounds, warning sounds, rushed to adjust something. Her cells are starting to die. This is the critical phase. Another memory, 1 year ago. They were sitting in a park. It was late autumn. Leaves fell around them, red and gold. Lyra caught one and examined it closely. On my planet, plants don't change color. They stay the same all year. That sounds boring, said. It's predictable, safe. She let the leaf go, watched it blow away. But maybe boring, I think I prefer your world. It's always changing, always surprising. Is that why you're staying? For the surprises? She looked at him. Her expression was serious. I'm staying because I've learned something important here. What's that? That fear can be overcome. My people are afraid of humans. They think you're dangerous because you fight so much, because you never give up, but I see it differently now. She took his hand. You fight because you care. You never give up because you love deeply. That's not dangerous. That's beautiful. Not everyone sees it that way. I know, but I do. She squeezed his hand. I see you, the real you, and I'm not afraid anymore. He kissed her then, first time, right there in the park with leaves falling around them. She tasted like starlight and hope. When they pulled apart, she was glowing brighter. What does that mean? He asked, pointing at her skin. It means I'm happy, she laughed. Very, very happy. Cellular breakdown accelerating, said. Her voice pulled back to the present. This is where we lose most patience. Her body is fighting the changes. Can she fight it? Minyu asked. If she fights it, she dies. She has to accept the changes. Let her body transform. But that's not easy when every instinct is screaming at you to resist. Watched Lyra thrash on the bed. Her skin was changing colors now, blue to gray to something in between. Parts of her looked almost human. Parts looked more alien than before. She was caught between worlds, between what she was and what she might become. 6 months ago, another memory. Lyra had moved into his apartment. They were cooking dinner together, or trying to. She kept adding spices to human food. The results were terrible. They ordered pizza instead. I have something to tell you, she said while they ate. What? I spoke to my family, told them I'm going to stay on Earth permanently. She paused. They're not happy. I'm sorry. Don't be, I knew this would happen. She picked at her pizza. My mother said I'm making a mistake, that humans are too different, that I'll regret it. Will you? No, she looked at him, but I'm scared. Of what? Of losing who I am, my culture, my identity. Her voice dropped. What if I become so human that I forget where I came from? Took her hand. You won't forget, I won't let you. Promise. Promise. Vital signs crashing, yelled. Heart rate at 300, blood pressure critical. She's not going to make it. Stay with us, Lyra said. She injected something into Lyra's IV. Come on, fight. You're stronger than this. But Lyra wasn't fighting. Her body was shutting down. The changes were too much, too fast. Her alien biology couldn't handle it. The monitors showed her life slipping away. Red numbers falling, alarms screaming. Pounded on the glass. Lyra, don't give up, please. She didn't respond. Her skin was barely glowing now, dimming like a dying star, the blue light fading to nothing. We're losing her, said. Tears ran down her face. I'm sorry, there's nothing more we can do. Looked at her expression said everything. This was it. The end. The treatment had failed, just like she predicted, just like everyone predicted. But remembered Lyra's words. Humans never give up, even when it's hopeless. He ran to the door of the medical room. Minyu grabbed him. What are you doing? Something hopeless. broke free and burst through the door. "Sir, you can't be in here," moved to stop him. "Let him," said quietly. Rushed to Lyra's side. He took her hand. It felt cold now. "Wrong. Lyra, listen to me. I know you're in there. I know you can hear me. You promised me something once. You said you weren't afraid anymore. You said you saw me, the real me." Her hand didn't move, but her eyes flickered just slightly. "Well, I see you too, the real you, not the alien, not the scientist, just Lyra, the woman who laughs at bad jokes, who tries to cook and fails, who catches falling leaves and calls them beautiful." His voice broke. "The woman I love, and I need you to come back, not for Earth, not for peace between our people, for me. Come back for me." The monitors beeped slower, slower, almost flat. "Please," whispered, "don't leave me alone." And in that moment between life and death, Lyra squeezed his hand. The squeeze was weak, barely there, but it was real, felt it. She's responding, she's still fighting. Rushed to the monitors. "You're right, brain activity is increasing, she heard you," she looked at with new eyes. "Her consciousness is still there, she's trying to hold on." "Then help her," held Lyra's hand. "There must be something we can do. The treatment is killing her. Her body can't handle the changes alone." Touched her tablet, scanning through data. "The nanomachines are working perfectly, but her biology is fighting back too hard. She needs support, an anchor." "What kind of anchor?" Went very still, her eyes widened. "Oh no, no, I can't ask you to do that." "Do what? Tell me." "There's a procedure, experimental, more experimental than this." She gestured at Lyra. "It's called neural bridging. We connect two nervous systems together. One acts as a stabilizer for the other." "Mean you stepped forward. You want to link him to her while she's going through this." "It might work. His human nervous system is stable, strong. If we bridge them, his body could help hers adapt, guide it through the changes." Shook her head. "But the pain alone could destroy his mind. And if something goes wrong, if the feedback is too much, it could kill them both." "Do it," said immediately. "You don't understand what you're agreeing to." "I understand perfectly. Connect us, now." "Listen to me," grabbed his shoulders. "This isn't just physical pain. You'll experience everything she's experiencing. Every cell dying and being reborn. Every nerve rewiring. It will feel like your body is being torn apart and rebuilt. Most people go insane from that kind of trauma." "Then I'll go insane, but I won't watch her die alone." "Mean you pulled at his arm. This is crazy, you could both die." "We'll die anyway if we do nothing." Looked at his friend. "You said humans fight even when it's hopeless. Well, this is me fighting." Brought over a metal case. Inside were thin cables with needles at the ends, neural connectors. "If we're doing this, we need to hurry. She doesn't have much time left." Nodded. She was already moving, preparing the equipment. "Lie down next to her. Get another bed in here." "No time." Climbed onto Lyra's bed. Carefully, so carefully, he lay beside her. Her body was hot now, burning with the changes. "Tell me what to do." "The connectors go into your spine, base of the neck. It's going to hurt. Position the first needle." "Ready?" "Yes." The needle went in. Pain exploded through skull. White hot, blinding, he screamed. His back arched, held him down while inserted the second needle. Then the third. 5 in total. 5 connections between his nervous system and Lyra's. Activating bridge in 3, 2, 1. The world disappeared. Fell into darkness, then light, then something between. He couldn't feel his body, couldn't feel the bed or the room or anything physical. He was floating in a vast space filled with stars and screaming. "Lyra," his voice echoed. Or maybe it didn't. He wasn't sure if he was speaking or thinking or dying. Her voice came from everywhere and nowhere. "What's happening? Where are we?" I think we're connected, our minds." He tried to move toward her voice. The space shifted. Suddenly he could see her, not her body, her consciousness. A glowing form that looked like her but made of light. "I'm here, I'm with you." "It hurts." Her voice was small, scared. "Everything hurts, my body is breaking, I can feel it dying." "Then let it die. Let go and become something new." "I'm afraid." "I know, but you don't have to be afraid alone. I'm here. We'll do this together." The space around them exploded into sensation. Pain, yes, but more than pain, it was transformation. Every cell in Lyra's body was being rewritten, and through the bridge felt it too. His human cells screaming as they tried to support her alien ones. His nervous system stretched to its limit. He felt her heart stop, then start again, different, beating to a new rhythm. He felt her lungs collapse and rebuild themselves, changing structure, learning to breathe Earth's air. He felt her brain rewiring, pathways dying, new ones forming. And through it all he felt her fear, her pain, her desperation to survive, but also her urge to give up, to stop fighting, to let the peace of death take her. No pushed closer to her consciousness, wrapped his awareness around hers. "You don't get to quit, not now, not ever." "It's too much, I can't." "Yes, you can. You're the strongest person I know. You left your whole world for a chance at peace. You learned a new language just to make me smile. You ate terrible pizza and pretended to like it." He felt her laugh, just a spark, but it was there. "That's it. Hold on to that, hold on to us." "I don't want to forget," said. "I might lose my memories." "Then I'll remember for both of us. Every moment, every laugh, every terrible meal. I'll hold them safe until you're ready to remember." The pain increased, doubled, tripled. Felt his own body seizing in the real world, felt his heart racing, felt blood vessels bursting in his brain. He was dying too. The bridge was killing them both. But he didn't let go. He pulled Lyra closer, held her tight in this space that wasn't really space. "Tell me something," he said through the agony. "Tell me why you really came to Earth." "You know why." "Tell me anyway." She was quiet for a moment. Around them the transformation raged. Cells died by the millions. New ones grew. Her body was half human, half something else entirely. "I came because I was tired of being afraid. My whole life everyone told me humans were dangerous, that you couldn't be trusted, that you would hurt me." Her voice grew stronger. "But then I met you, and you were kind, gentle. You made terrible jokes and cried at sad movies and cared so much about everything. You were the opposite of dangerous. I made you come to a planet that's killing you. That's pretty dangerous." "No, you gave me a choice, that's the difference. My people never gave me choices. They told me how to think, how to feel, what to believe." The pain was lessening now. The transformation was nearly complete. "But you asked me what I wanted, and what I wanted was this, was you, was a world where I could choose my own path. Even if that path leads to this, to pain and change and losing who you are." "I'm not losing who I am, I'm becoming who I want to be." Her consciousness was glowing brighter now, stabilizing. "And I want to be someone brave enough to choose love over fear, someone who fights even when it's hopeless, someone human." Felt tears on his face, or maybe they were her tears. He couldn't tell anymore. They were too connected, too mixed together. "You're already more human than most humans I know. Then help me finish this, help me survive." He held her, and together they rode the final wave of transformation, the last cells changing, the last pathways forming, the last barriers breaking down between human and biology. And then suddenly it was over. The pain stopped. The space disappeared, slammed back into his body. He gasped, opened his eyes. He was still on the bed, still connected to Lyra, but something was different. The monitors had stopped screaming. The alarms were silent, stood frozen, staring at the screens. His mouth hung open. Minyu looked like he might faint. "What?" His voice was rough, broken. "What is it?" Pointed at Lyra. "Look at her." Turned his head. Lyra lay beside him. Her skin was no longer blue. It was a soft purple, a perfect blend of human pink and blue. Her breathing was steady, strong. Her chest rose and fell in a natural rhythm. And her eyes were open, looking at him, filled with tears and joy and something that might have been laughter. "Hi," she whispered. "Hi," he whispered back. "Did it work?" "You're alive, so yes, it worked." She smiled. "We worked." Began disconnecting the neural bridge. Her hands shook as she removed each needle. "This is impossible. You both should be dead. Brain dead at least, but your vitals are. They're perfect. Better than perfect." "How long was I under?" asked. 4 minutes, the longest 4 minutes of my life. She finished removing the last needle. "You're going to need to rest, both of you. What you just did. The trauma alone should have killed you." But didn't feel traumatized. He felt alive, more alive than ever. He looked at Lyra, really looked at her. She was different, changed, but still herself, still the woman he loved. "Do you remember everything?" She nodded. "Everything. You held my memories just like you promised." "Phase 3 complete," announced. She was checking the final readings. "Transformation successful, all vitals stable. She's adapted fully." Minyu let out a breath he'd been holding. "I can't believe that worked. That was the most reckless, stupid, insane thing I've ever seen." He grinned. "And it was incredible." "Helped sit up. How do you feel?" "Tired and like I ran a marathon through fire, but okay." "You're more than okay. You're a medical miracle, both of you." She looked at Lyra. "Can you breathe? Does it hurt?" Lyra took a deep breath. "No, it feels normal, like I've always breathed this air." She laughed. "I'm alive. I'm really alive." Took her hand, squeezed it. She squeezed back, harder than before, stronger than before. She was alive. They both were. Against all odds, against all logic, against everything that should have killed them, they survived. Because sometimes, when humans face an impossible choice, they create a third option. And sometimes, just sometimes, it works. 3 days later, opened his eyes to white ceiling tiles, hospital lights, the sound of machines beeping steadily. His body felt heavy, like he'd been buried under rocks and just dug himself out. "You're awake," stood beside his bed. She looked tired but relieved. "Welcome back." "Lyra," his throat was dry. The word came out like sandpaper. "She's fine, more than fine. She's been asking about you every hour." Poured water into a cup and helped him drink. "You've been unconscious for 3 days. Your body shut down after the procedure. Natural response to extreme trauma." "But I'm okay." "Physically, yes. Mentally, we're still evaluating what you did. No one's ever survived a neural bridge during a forced adaptation before. We don't know what the long-term effects might be." Tried to sit up. His muscles screamed in protest. "I need to see her." "In a minute. First, you need to know some things." His expression turned serious. "While you were unconscious, a lot happened. The war between Earth and the is escalating. More attacks, more deaths on both sides." "Great. But there's more. Word got out about what we did, about the procedure, about you and Lyra." She paused. "Both sides are calling it different things. Humans call it a miracle, proof that our species can coexist. Call it a crime. They say we experimented on one of their own, changed her against her will." "That's not true," she agreed. "She was dying. They're saying she couldn't consent, that we took advantage of her situation." Sat down. "It's becoming a political nightmare. The Galactic Council is investigating. They want to interview both of you." Closed his eyes. Of course, nothing could ever be simple. "What does Lyra say?" "She's been very clear. She told anyone who would listen that she chose this, that you saved her life, but," hesitated, "some people aren't listening. They've already decided what they want to believe." "Can I see her now?" "Yes, she's in the next room, but she's changed, not just physically. Be prepared for that." Helped him into a wheelchair. His legs weren't ready to hold his weight yet. She pushed him through the corridor to the next room. Through the window, could see Lyra sitting up in bed. She was reading something on a tablet. Her new purple skin caught the light in strange ways, beautiful but different. "Open the door. You have a visitor." Lyra looked up, her face transformed. She tried to get out of bed. Who was checking her vitals gently pushed her back down. Careful, you're still recovering too. I don't care, so wake, that's all that matters. Lyra's eyes shone with tears. They told me you might not wake up, that your brain might have been damaged. Wheeled closer to the bed, he reached out and took Lyra's hand. It still felt warm, still felt like her. I promised I'd remember everything for you. Couldn't do that while sleeping. She laughed, then cried, then laughed again. I was so scared. 3 days felt like 3 years. I know the feeling. He studied her face. The changes were subtle but significant. Her eyes were slightly larger, her features more human but still distinctly alien. How do you feel? Strange, good, different. She held up her free hand, examining it. I can breathe without pain. I can think without fog. My body feels right for the first time since I came to Earth. But, she looked at, tell him everything. Nodded, she pulled up a holographic display. It showed Lyra's biology. The transformation was successful, more successful than we imagined. Her cellular structure is now a hybrid, human, and she can process Earth's atmosphere perfectly. But the display changed. She can no longer process her home atmosphere. If she returns to her planet, she'd die within hours. I know, Lyra said quietly. I accepted that. There's more, expanded the display. During the neural bridge, something unexpected happened. Some of cells absorbed markers from Lyra's biology, and some of hers absorbed his. You're not just connected emotionally now. You're connected genetically, on a cellular level. Stared at the display. What does that mean? We're still figuring it out. But essentially, you share certain biological traits now. Your immune systems recognize each other as self rather than foreign. Your nervous systems are partially synchronized. We even detected shared memories in your brain scans. Shared memories. You didn't just hold her memories during the procedure. You merged them. Some of her experiences are now in your head, and some of yours are in hers. Close the display. You're bonded in a way we've never seen before between any species. Minu entered the room carrying food trays. Thought you might be hungry, hospital food, but better than nothing. He set the trays down. Also, there's a crowd outside, reporters, government officials, even some protesters. Everyone wants to talk to you too. Let them wait, said. He wasn't ready to face the world yet. He just wanted to be here with Lyra. But shook her head. They won't wait much longer. The pressure is building. Both governments want answers. The Galactic Council is threatening sanctions. This isn't going away. Then what do we do? Lyra asked. You tell the truth, sat down. You tell them what happened, why you made the choices you made, and you deal with the consequences. Over the next week, and Lyra recovered. Slowly, painfully. They did physical therapy together, relearning how to walk, how to coordinate their changed bodies. The nurses said they healed faster when they were together, something about the biological bond. They also prepared for the interviews, the questions, the accusations, coached them on what to say, how to frame the narrative. You helped them write statements, but in the end they decided to simply tell the truth. The hearing happened in the Grand Council chamber, the same place where first met Lyra 2 years ago. Now it was filled with officials from Earth and the Collective, Galactic Council representatives, media from a dozen worlds. And Lyra sat at a table in the center, facing hundreds of eyes, some curious, some angry, some afraid. The head counselor, an elderly human named Director, spoke first. We're here to investigate the unauthorized use of banned technology on a citizen, to determine if crimes were committed, to decide what action should be taken. He looked at. Let's start with you. Why did you authorize the procedure? Took a breath. Because I loved her, and she was dying. I had 7 minutes to choose between 2 impossible options. Send her home to die alone, or try an experimental treatment that might kill her. I chose the treatment because it gave her a chance. Any chance was better than none. You knew the technology was banned. Yes. You knew it might kill her. Yes. Yet you used it anyway. Yes, because sometimes the right choice isn't the legal choice. Sometimes you have to break rules to save lives. Murmurs filled the chamber. Director held up his hand for silence. And you, Lyra, you were dying, in pain, unable to consent fully. Do you believe you were coerced? Lyra stood. Her purple skin glowed slightly in the chamber lights. No, I was not coerced. I came to Earth knowing the risks. I stayed despite warnings. I chose to love a human despite my people's fears. And when I was dying, I chose to fight. Didn't force anything. He gave me a choice, and I chose life. But at what cost? A official stood. His skin was deep blue, traditional, unchanged. You're no longer one of us. You've become something else, something unnatural. I've become what I needed to become to survive, Lyra said. Her voice was strong, clear. And yes, I'm different, but I'm still me. I still remember my home, my family, my culture. The treatment didn't erase who I was, it added to it. You can never return home. I know, and that breaks my heart. But being alive means I can still honor my home, still share my culture, still build bridges between our people. Being dead means I can do none of those things. The questioning went on for hours, officials arguing, debating. Some called it a crime, others called it a miracle. Some wanted arrested, others wanted him celebrated. The Galactic Council representatives remained neutral, watching, listening. Finally, Director called for a vote. Should charges be filed? Should the technology remain banned? Should Lyra be deported? The vote was close, but in the end, no charges were filed. The technology remained banned for general use, but exceptions could be made in life-threatening emergencies, and Lyra was granted permanent asylum on Earth. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. As they left the chamber, reporters swarmed them. Questions flew like bullets, held Lyra's hand and pushed through the crowd. They didn't answer, they just walked. Outside, the sun was setting. Orange and red painted the sky. Lyra stopped and looked up. Still beautiful, even after everything. Yeah. Are you okay with how this turned out? Thought about it? They'd faced death, made impossible choices, changed on a cellular level, started a political firestorm that would burn for years, lost Lyra's home world, gained enemies on both sides. But they were alive together, and somehow that was enough. I'm okay, he said, more than okay. They walked to the park where they shared their first kiss. The leaves were falling again, red and gold, cycling through seasons, always changing, always returning. They sat on their favorite bench. What happens now? Lyra asked. I don't know. The war is still happening. People are still angry. We're still going to face questions and accusations and protests. That's not what I meant. I meant with us. What happens with us? Smiled, we keep going, we keep fighting. We keep refusing to give up. That's what humans do, and apparently that's what you do now too. She leaned her head on his shoulder. I learned from the best. They sat in silence, watching the sun disappear. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new conflicts, new impossible choices. But for now, in this moment, they had peace. They had each other. They had survived. And sometimes, survival is victory enough. Above them, stars began to appear. Earth stars, stars, human stars, alien stars, all of them shining in the same sky. All of them proof that different worlds could share the same space, that different species could find common ground. That love could bridge any distance, heal any wound, overcome any obstacle. Even death. Especially death. Because that's what humans do. They fight for the impossible. They refuse to accept defeat. They create third options when given only two. They love deeply, stubbornly, irrationally. And sometimes, just sometimes, that's enough to change the universe.